Hi mga kausisera! Ako si Cindyrella na sa channel ko wala nang mahabang pa intro pa. So dahil sharing is caring, for today's video ay ituturo ko sa inyo paano ba ang mag-apply ng tourist visa for your family members DIY. Sa mga katulad kong hindi afford ang magbayad ng processing fee sa mga agencies, this video might be helpful for you. But before I start, let me just remind you na I'm not a migration agent, and kung ano man yung i-share ko sa inyo, it is based on what I have experienced. So dito sa tourist visa, second time application ko na para sa aking parents-in-law. So, meron kasing different streams ng tourist visa. Meron yung tourist visa na mag-a-apply ka sa Australia, meron din outside Australia, at meron din yung family-sponsored. Meron pang iba't iba, pero basically, yun yung usually na tatlo na ina-apply. So, very short background lang po sa akin. Ako po ay nasa temporary visa. So, pumunta po ako dito sa Australia bilang international student. Yung pag-apply ko po ng tourist visa sa parents-in-law ko po is DIY. So, ako lang po. Nag-research po ako sa website ng Department of Home Affairs. So, mostly, lahat din po ng information na i-share ko sa inyo ay nasa website. Gagawin lang po natin na mas simple at baka yung sitwasyon ko is maging applicable din po for you. So, wag na po nating patagalin pa. Let's get this started! First is yung tourist stream. Apply outside Australia. So, marang nasa Pilipinas ka. So, anong meron dito? Apply mo yung family or friends na close sa'yo or yung relatives. And makakapag-stay sila ng up to 3, 6, or 12 months. So, ang cost nito is 150 AUD. Okay, so reiterate ko lang po with tourist visa, number 1, you can't work. You can't work. Hindi ka pwedeng magtrabaho. But you can visit, of course, your family and friends. Kahit saang state pa yan ng Australia, you can travel all around other states of Australia as well. Okay, so basic step tayo. Of course, kailangan mong mag-create ng email account kasi doon ka mag-a-apply para sa iyong relatives. So, punta ka lang sa website, Department of Home Affairs, and then email account, log in, or meron doon to register, something like that. And then, after mong makapag-login, then pwede ka nang mag-apply ng tourist visa. So, ano yung mga kailangan mo para maging eligible ka sa visa na ito? So, number 1, kailangan mong i-meet ang health requirement na nila or ng Australia. And ano yon? So, syempre, especially sa Philippines, which is red flag ang tuberculosis. So, kung wala kang tuberculosis, hindi mo to problemahin. Pero kung nagkaroon ka ng TB before, so may mga process around that. So hindi ko na ganong i-discuss pa kung paano ang gagawin. Bibigyan ko kasi kayo ng general na information. And then, saka ko rin i-share kung ano ba yung naging specific for our circumstances. And pangalawa is dapat i-meet mo ang character requirement ng Australia. I-declare mo kung mayroon kang criminal records. And of course, dapat maging genuine ka. Pangatlo, pay your debts sa Australian government kung meron. Pang-apat, have enough money to support your stay here in Australia. But it varies if you will be sponsored by a family member or yung nag-invite sa'yo. And then, ipaprocess mo na yung mga documents or ipiprepare mo na yung mga documents na needed. So, before you apply, of course, maliban sa email account na sinabi ko, dapat may passport ka. And then, mag-organize ka ng health examination kung sinabi ng department na kailangan mong magpa-medical. Kasi merong mga changes sa visa requirement these days. For example, sa mga temporary visa holders, they don't require having medicals anymore, but that could change anytime. So, and then pangatlo, if hindi ka confident na mag-apply on your own, then you can get help with your application. So, meron tayong mga registered migration agent, legal practitioner, or exempt person. Exempt person can be yung mag-i-invite sa'yo, but it doesn't mean na kailangan mo silang bayaran. So, yung dalawa, syempre, may cost yon. Okay, so step 2 is gather your documents. So, provide accurate information. Okay? And then, supply identity documents as well. And that would include yung national identity card or yung proof of change of name if applicable. And then, kailangan mo din mag-provide ng genuine visitor documents, which include na meron kang enough money to stay here in Australia. For example, personal bank statements for 3 months, and then payslips, and then audited accounts or tax records, term deposits or credit card statements. Yun ay kung ikaw mismo ang magsusupport ng sarili mo while you are visiting Australia. And kung hindi naman, kailangan mag-provide ng friend or relative mo ng letter na nagsasabi na sponsoran ka nila, which is sa letter na yon dapat nakalagay yung relationship nila sa iyo, and then ano yung purpose ng visit mo sa Australia and your length of stay, and then kung mag-stay ka ba with them. So dapat sabihin din nila kung eto bang nag-invite sa iyo will be paying for your stay, or provide proof of funds as well. Okay, so kung hindi naman, kailangan mo rin i-provide yung plans mo while in Australia, yung itinerary plans mo. Ano ba yung mga gagawin mo dito? So, you have to do your own research kung saang state ka ba pupunta. So, sa amin, in-include namin yung mga usual na tourist spots na pwedeng puntahan. And then, proof that you have reasons to return home. Okay? Kasi, ang tourist visa is pupunta ka dito para i-explore ang Australia at kailangan mo talagang i-prove na ikaw ay genuine. Hindi yung maghahanap ka ng trabaho dito. Hindi pwede yun. Kasi meron namang ibang visa that will allow you to do that. For example, student visa, costly, pero legal yung work rights. Okay, so ano ba yung mga proof na you have reasons to return home? Number 1, jowa. Joke lang. Okay, di naman yung reasons to return home. Kasi pwede mo namang ilaglag yung jowa mo, di ba? Charot! Okay, so first is yung kung working ka and you will be supporting yourself. So a letter from your employer stating na ikaw ay naka-leave within those time frame, and that of course date range na kung saan ikaw ay nasa Australia. And then or proof na ikaw ay nag-aaral sa college or university. Of course, isipin nila, uy, babalik to kasi nag-aaral. And then proof that you have immediate family member. And then proof that you can return home. Like you own a house or you own property or you have the business to look after. So, yun yung mga proof na magsasatisfy sa kanila na i-grant kanila ng tourist visa. And then, let's go to the character documents. So, if they require na ikaw ay mag-provide ng police certificate or NBI clearance, they will let you know. But in our case, sa application ng aking parents-in-law, they don't provide or they don't ask us to provide those kind of documents. And then, so meron din mga additional documents for applicants requesting a longer stay. So, sa case kasi namin, ang parents-in-law ko inask ko lang na magstay sila ng 3 months. But then they were granted multiple entries and maximum of 3 months stay. And yung validity ng visa nila is good for 1 year. So, what do I mean about that? So, every 3 months, kailangan nilang umuwi, and then anytime as long as within the validity ng nag-grant na visa sa kanila, they can go back and then stay for another 3 months. Kung kayo ay mag-a-apply ng mas matagal na stay, may mga additional documents din kayo na kailangang i-provide. So, for example, proof na kailangan nyo na magstay longer here in Australia. So, meron kasing mga, for example, parents na married with their Australian partners. So, they can provide proof na yung anak nila is an Australian citizen or permanent resident. Or, pwede rin, parents naman nila is an Australian citizen or permanent resident. So, kung ang applicant naman is under 18, meron din mga additional documents. So, kailangan nilang mag-provide ng birth certificate na nagre-reflect doon yung pangalan ng parents. And then, kailangan nilang mag-fill out ng form, yung form 1229, which is yung consent form to grant an Australian visa to a child under the age of 18 years. And then, statutory declaration na nagbibigay ng consent na yung bata is mag-travel dito sa Australia. So, kailangan din mag-provide ng passport or driver's license, yung responsible or yung may legal right para sa bata. And then, so, yun ang mga kailangan mong documents na i-provide. So, lahat ng visa na sinabi ko, regardless if you apply in Australia or outside Australia or family sponsored stream, if in case na may mag-i-invite sa'yo na mag-sponsor ng stay mo dito sa Australia, o kailangan niya na mag-provide ng proof of funds, as I've stated earlier. So, ano yung mga yon? So, yung employment contract niya dito sa Australia, 3 months payslip, and then yung other source of or proof of funds, bank statements, so lease agreement. So kami mag-asawa, both pre-provide namin yon. And then ito mga additional na lang. Okay, in my experience, nung in-invite namin yung parents-in-law ko last year, yung pre-provide namin na mga documents is yung kanyang entry and exit stamp pages ng passport. Kasi he used to work overseas. And then yung photograph ng passport, and then invitation from family members or relatives. So ano yung mga supporting documents? So yung passport naming mag-asawa, and then yung employment contracts naming mag-asawa, payslip namin, and then 3 months payslip, bank statements namin, yung lease agreement namin, and then ano pa yung mga pre-provide namin, and invitation letter. So kami yung naggawa noon, addressing to the Department of Home Affairs na we will cover all their living expenses while they are here in Australia. And then, so, nag-provide din sila ng travel documents nila na na-mention ko earlier, which is yung passport. So, kahit na sinasabi namin na i-sponsor namin sila, pinag-provide pa rin namin sila ng mga financial evidences nila of their own. So, it can include yung assets, like yung land title, and then yung car registration, yung business registration, and then ITR. So, yun yung mga pre-provide nila. Pero kung wala naman, don't stress. Kasi ano lang to, additional documents, as long as may mag-sponsor sa inyo to provide all those proof of funds. Basta ma-prove nyo lang na kayo ay may reasons to go back home na na-mention ko earlier. And then, of course, dahil nga ito ay DIY, so kung may exempt person na gagawa ng application mo on your behalf, which is sa case namin is ako yun, on behalf of my parents-in-law. So, nag-fill out ako ng Form 956A, which is appointment or withdrawal of an authorized recipient. Okay? And lastly, yung evidence of planned tourism in Australia. So, last year, nung nag-apply ang aking parents-in-law, they don't ask them for biometrics or medicals kasi ang nilagay ko lang doon na stay nila is for 3 months. Before, ang rule is if you're staying for more than 12 months, kailangan mong mag-medical. But now, since I mentioned na may mga changes, i-advise ka ng Department of Home Affairs kung kailangan ng applicant na mag-medical. Pero sa biometrics, it is required these days, especially if you're applying outside Australia. Of course, i-make sure mo na ang pag-scan mo sa mga documents is malinaw and according sa requirement ng Home Affairs. And at the same time, ito simpleng tip lang kung para makatipid na rin kayo sa printing, kung meron kayong mga naka-install na Adobe, so hindi po tayo sponsor ng Adobe, ano? So, pwede yung electronic signature as well. So, in my case, lahat ng documents ng parents-in-law ko is may mga electronic signature. So, para diretso ka nang mag-fill out dun sa PDF forms na kailangan nila. And then, kung okay na lahat, then you can apply for the visa na. As I mentioned, you can apply online, attach all the documents, and then submit the family application together kung meron, and then you pay for the application fee. So, after you apply, so this is what's happening now. Siyempre, if you applied outside Australia, so kailangan mong mag-biometrics. So, nasa website din kung paano ka magpa-schedule ng biometrics. And then, may fee. Then, so bakit kailangan ng biometrics? To protect your identity. And then, ang fee yata nun is like around 800 plus or nearly 900. And then, kung may mistakes ka sa application, just go to the your IMI account. So, meron mga options doon how to or what to correct. Kunwari nagkamali ka sa contact details mo, then you can rectify it by filling out that form. And then, kung meron din nagbago sa circumstance mo while the visa application is still processing, then go ka lang din sa IMI account mo and then tell them what has been changed, especially kung single ka or married. Pero syempre ayaw mo ng mga hassle na ganito, diba? And then you'll have the visa outcome. So, ang processing ng visa ay it varies. They can change it anytime. So, but I think these days mabilis na yung kanilang application processing. So, as of today, ang processing times nila is 25% of application na process na ng 4 days. 50% of application, 12 days. 75% is 18 days. And 90% of the application is 35 days. That's applying outside Australia. So if you're applying inside Australia naman, which is ito yung in process sa in-laws ko kasi may expire na yung kanilang visa. So hindi siya extension actually. Kung magre-request ka na magstay sila longer than 3 months, you have to do another or a new application. Okay? So ang difference lang naman mostly sa application in Australia for a temporary visa holder like me is yung cost. So, kung nasa outside Australia, it's 150. Dito naman sa Australia, it's 380 Australian dollar. Kapag naman family sponsored, meaning ang mag-i-invite sa'yo or mag-sponsor is Australian or permanent resident, ang cost is 150 Australian dollar. But they might require you for a security bond. Basically, same requirements lang at same processing time. And for last year's application ng aking parents-in-law, fortunately, na-process lang within 7 days ang kanilang application. Napakabilis that time. And nagpunta sila dito ng August last year, umuwi ng October, and then bumalik ng December, and now they are still here. And ngayon, magpa-process ako ng, or ongoing yung aking lodgement ng processing ng kanilang second tourist visa. And hopefully, mag-grant din ito kasi nag-DIY lang ako, mga friend. Wala kasi akong pambayad sa agent. Pero kayo, kung kayo ay masyadong busy sa buhay ninyo, then go for a registered migration agent. At tutulungan nila kayo kung paano ba ang mag-apply at mas guided kayo. So, hopefully, this video will help you with your future application. And let me know kung may gusto pa kayong malaman, and I'll try my best to provide information based on the Department of Home Affairs and based on my experience. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye-bye!